to another episode. It's a magazine all of a sudden. Another episode of The Pass. We are here. I am Obi-Ron. With me in the studio today, Constant. Nice. And out there in the frozen tundra, is it still frozen, Turtle?
No.
It warmed up a little, but it's still 14 degrees.
Yeah.
Oh, so you should be out sunbathing.
I'm in Bronco country, orange and blue. Everybody bleeds orange and blue out here. And last night they were crying because goddamn it was sad. What a pathetic game.
Yeah. Well, look, dude, when you say bleed orange and blue, I'd say, yeah, they walked off the field black and blue. Denver Broncos got beat up yesterday.
Yes.
Beat up yesterday. And there were actually quite a few. No real major injuries this time around. You know, nothing like really significant. Or maybe one that I'm looking at here. But a fairly healthy dose of them around the league. And Denver Broncos took more than their fair share. We got 4 Denver Broncos that are down. Julius Thomas went down with a high ankle sprain. And so we're probably looking at a couple of weeks without him. Montee Ball went down. He had that groin injury that he was coming back off of, and it looks like he re-injured it. Turtle, you seem to think that it sounded like he re-injured it.
Yeah, I mean, it's either a re-injury or it's another injury in the same area. I can only imagine it's a re-injury. I don't think he should have been on the football field in the first place. I think he's playing the RG3 style of football where it's like, I'm 100%, coach. You are 20%, so get your ass back in the locker room, you fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, we know he'll miss next week, and I guess while we find out the extent of his injury, we'll see how much more he may miss. Who else did we lose? Gosh, Emanuel Sanders went down. That was a concussion. Who knows how long he's going to be out. Concussion protocol is going to determine that, and that could be a little while. He could be back next week, or he could be out for weeks. And then Caldwell also with a rib injury. Now, he came back in and then went back out, so we're not sure. He might be day-to-day. He might even play next week.
That's just how much pain you can tolerate usually unless it's broken.
Right. So Denver Broncos lost 4 guys, and some might say as a result they lost that game because, holy cow, that was not good. But it wasn't the extent of it. If I take a look here, Washington lost Trent Williams. He got rolled up on. Did you see that one?
I didn't see it,
hate
they're ugly.
Oh, not good. Fully planted and rolled up on.
Yeah.
High ankle sprain. You know, it's going to depend on the extent of the injury. Did it include damage to the knee? When we find out whether or not there's some MCL damage, we'll know if it's going to be any worse, but expect it to be at least 2 weeks, possibly more.
Sure.
Max Unger in Seattle is the exact same thing, only his, I think, looked maybe a little bit worse. So I'd err on the side of caution. If you've got him in a fantasy league or something like that, you may have lost him for the last few weeks of the year here. The worst injury, hands down, is Indy's Ahmad Bradshaw. Did I say Bradford?
Yeah.
What the hell am I doing, dude?
Bradshaw.
Lord. He seemed to have the worst injury with what at the time looked like an ankle sprain or something along those lines. Now just reported is actually an ankle fracture. That's probably good news for him, though, in the long run, because you usually don't have more than 1 point of failure. So if the ankle broke, that's actually good news for the knee, because it was pretty severe injury. And so, but he'll be on the IR. That's it for him. He's done for the year.
Yeah.
So we'll see him next year. And then in Arizona's win, Larry Fitzgerald. Here's another one, Turtle, coming back maybe a little too early. I'm not sure, but Larry Fitzgerald down again, MCL. Not sure how serious this one is. It could be not so bad, but still you're looking at possibly not playing next week and up to a couple of weeks.
In my opinion, where we are in week-wise in football, all of these are bad injuries. Every last one of those are bad injuries.
Yeah, because that's the season.
I mean, obviously the Broncos are taking it worse. And even if, on the way over here, I heard that Julius Thomas didn't have a high ankle sprain, that it's not as severe as they thought. But it keeps going back and forth. You know how the stories go. Yeah, but either way, it hurts them because obviously the Broncos are going to suffer the worst. And I think the worst injury they have is not Thomas, not Sanders. It's Ball.
It's Montee Ball, yeah.
Because now you know what the Broncos are going to do. They're forced to pass the ball, and then you're going to be somewhat depleted or banged up. But the reason why all these are a problem is because if you look at these teams, Denver, Washington, Indianapolis, well, of course, Ahmad's gone or whatever, but especially those particular teams, it's cold. Colts play indoors, so, there is that part. But, what I'm saying? You got to deal with cold weather, especially in Denver and Washington, and now guys are kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
getting banged up.
They're getting banged up. If there's a reason to sit out an extra game or something, you know what I mean? And that's not that Denver guys would do that, but it's not good it's not good for these guys to get hurt right now in this weather and this late in the season, because it always usually is a week. You either come back a week early and then you're not as good for your team, or you stay out a week late, and in Denver's case, that could cost you the playoffs.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was going to ask, actually. Whether or not it cost them the playoffs. With these injuries this late, clearly a significant part of the reason that they lost that game. I mean, Denver puts up only 7 points in the game. That's strange. Turtle, I'll start with you. With having lost all these guys, how does Denver look for you now in the postseason?